Every year, gamers eagerly watch the Game of the Year awards, hoping to see their favorites take the crown. But what about those incredible games that poured their heart and soul into delivering unforgettable experiences, only to be completely overlooked and robbed of the recognition they truly deserve? Today we're diving into those hidden gems and legendary titles that should have been crowned the best but got snubbed. Before we jump into the video, if you enjoy content like this, please hit that subscribe button. Your support genuinely motivates me to keep creating these in-depth videos and share hidden gaming treasures with you. It means a lot and helps the channel grow, so I can keep bringing you even more great content. Thank you then. Without wasting more time, let's get into the video. RETURNAL is one of those games that truly changed how we see modern gaming, yet it never got the respect it deserved at the Game Awards 2021. Made by Housemarque, it mixed roguelike gameplay with fast, bullet-hell shooting that tested your reflexes and patience. Every time you played, the world changed. New weapons, new enemies, new surprises, making every run feel exciting and fresh instead of frustrating. The PlayStation 5 handled it beautifully, running at a smooth 60 FPS with almost no loading times, keeping every fight intense and fast-paced. RETURNAL's world was stunning, with 6 unique biomes that looked and felt alive. The sound design was just as powerful, creepy, mysterious, and perfectly timed with the action, pulling players deeper into its haunting sci-fi story. Even though RETURNAL won Best Action Game at the Game Awards, it was never nominated for Game of the Year. Instead, more family-friendly titles like It Takes Two took the spotlight. This felt unfair, especially since RETURNAL later won big at the BAFTA Games Awards, taking home Best Game, Best Audio, and more. Jane Perry's emotional voice acting made the story feel human, even in an alien world. Many critics and players called it one of the best games of 2021. Its smart design made dying part of learning, turning failure into progress. But because of its tough difficulty and PlayStation 5 exclusivity, it didn't reach as many players. That's likely why it was overlooked. The Game Awards often favor accessible, mainstream games. Still, RETURNAL's bold creativity and technical mastery proved it deserved that Game of the Year spot. Titanfall 2, made by Respawn Entertainment, is one of those games that truly deserved Game of the Year in 2016, but got unfairly ignored. It was released around the same time as Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which hurt its chances. Still, Titanfall 2 stood out with its smooth movement, wall running, and the awesome bond between pilots and their giant titans. It mixed fast, exciting gameplay with a surprisingly emotional story that many didn't expect. Its single-player campaign was one of the best ever made in a shooter. Each level felt fresh and creative, with moments like time travel missions that left players amazed. The multiplayer was just as strong, balancing titans, pilots, and weapons in a way that rewarded both skill and strategy. Critics loved it, giving it high scores and calling it one of the best shooters of its time. But sadly, it was overshadowed by bigger games because of poor release timing and weak marketing. Titanfall 2 still won awards like Best Shooter, and earned huge respect from players online, especially for its famous Effect and Cause mission, which became legendary. Fans called it a criminally underrated gem, and many believed it deserved far more recognition than it got. Unfortunately, its sales suffered because EA released it too close to other big shooters, and that decision hurt its visibility. In the end, Titanfall 2's biggest robbery was not being nominated for Game of the Year. While Overwatch and Uncharted 4 took the spotlight, Titanfall 2 quietly redefined what a shooter could be. It pushed the genre forward, but never got the credit it earned. Even today, players still look back and say, this game deserved better. Alan Wake 2, made by Remedy Entertainment, is a game that truly deserved Game of the Year in 2023, but sadly didn't win. Released in October, it mixed deep psychological horror with a clever story and beautiful visuals. You play as both Alan Wake and FBI agent Saga Anderson, switching between their stories in a way that feels fresh. Critics loved it, giving it high scores and praise for its dark atmosphere and storytelling, but it was overshadowed by bigger titles like Baldur's Gate 3. The game's visuals were breathtaking. Remedy's Northlight engine brought every shadow and light to life, from misty forests to twisted dream worlds. The sound design made every creak and whisper send chills down your spine. It even won awards for Best Art Direction, Best Narrative, and Best Game Direction, yet somehow still didn't take home Game of the Year. Many fans called this a crime against creativity. At other award shows, Alan Wake 2 kept proving its worth, winning Best Action Adventure Game and earning constant praise for its brave storytelling. Players online called it a horror masterpiece that came too late in the year to get full recognition. Even though it sold over 1 million copies, it couldn't compete with the massive success of Baldur's Gate 3, which drew in a larger audience. The real issue was that Alan Wake 2 wasn't built for everyone. It was built for those who love deep, dark, and demanding experiences. Its slow pace, intense atmosphere, and mind-bending story made it unique, but less mainstream. The Game Awards favored popular hits, missing the chance to reward a game that pushed storytelling to new heights. Alan Wake 2 didn't just get robbed, it showed how the industry sometimes overlooks true artistic brilliance. Marvel's Spider-Man 2, made by Insomniac Games, truly deserved the Game of the Year award in 2023, but was sadly overlooked when Baldur's Gate 3 took the win. Released in October 2023, this action-packed adventure improved everything from the first two games. It let players switch between Peter Parker and Miles Morales with ease, mixing fun combat, fast web-swinging, and a deep story full of heart and emotion that players loved. The game used the full power of the PlayStation 5, showing a beautiful and realistic New York City with faster loading. Combat felt smoother than ever, with Peter using powerful symbiote attacks and Miles showing off his new electric abilities. It also had great accessibility options, so everyone could enjoy it. Critics praised how polished it was, yet despite being nominated in 7 categories, it didn't win a single award, losing to big titles like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Fans and critics agreed it was one of the best superhero games ever made. It sold over 2.5 million copies in just 24 hours, breaking records for PlayStation Studios. Many fans on social media called it a technical marvel and couldn't believe it didn't win more awards. Its music, sound, and voice acting, especially Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker, brought powerful emotions to the story. Even though it won at the Golden Joystick Awards, it was strangely ignored at the Game Awards. The truth is, Spider-Man 2 lost out because the industry often favors massive, open-world RPGs over more focused games. While other nominees offered size and choices, Spider-Man 2 gave players a perfect, tight experience with no wasted moments. Its late release and PS5 exclusivity may have hurt its chances, but that doesn't change the fact it set a new bar for superhero games and was truly robbed of the Game of the Year title. Silent Hill 2, the 2024 remake by Bloober Team, truly deserved the Game of the Year award, but was unfairly ignored at the Game Awards 2024, where Astro Bot won instead. Released in October, it brought the 2001 horror classic back to life with stunning visuals and modern gameplay while keeping its dark, emotional story intact. The game earned an impressive Metacritic score of 87 and widespread praise for balancing nostalgia with innovation, yet it never made the top nominee list. Using Unreal Engine 5, Silent Hill 2 created eerie, realistic environments filled with fog, fear, and emotional weight. Every corner of its world felt alive with dread, thanks to improved lighting, character detail, and haunting sound design. The combat was tighter and smoother, but still captured the tension of true survival horror. Luke Roberts' performance as James Sunderland gave the story more heart, earning it the Best Horror Game award, but not a Game of the Year nod, which felt unfair. Fans and critics agreed that Silent Hill 2 honored the original while making it fresh for new players. It even won Best Remake at the Golden Joystick Awards and sold over 1.5 million copies by year's end. Still, its October release and quieter tone may have caused it to be overlooked, as louder games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Astro Bot took more spotlight. Many fans online called it a masterpiece of horror and were disappointed by the snub. In the end, Silent Hill 2 lost not because it wasn't good enough, but because the industry tends to reward bright mainstream games over slow, emotional ones. Its deep story and psychological themes demanded patience, not quick thrills. And being a PlayStation and PC exclusive limited its reach. By leaving it out of the Game of the Year list, the Game Awards ignored one of the finest remakes ever made, a haunting masterpiece that truly got robbed. Dark Souls 3, made by From Software, came out in 2016 and proved how games can be both hard and beautiful. It was full of dark fantasy, tough enemies, and deep combat that made every victory feel earned. Critics praised its world, story, and gameplay, giving it high scores. But when the Game Awards came, Overwatch took Game of the Year instead. For many fans, it felt like Dark Souls 3 was robbed of the award it truly deserved. The game's world was a masterpiece on its own. Every place from Lothric Castle to Irithyll of the Boreal Valley felt connected and alive. The level design pushed players to explore, and its combat was fast, sharp, and rewarding. Players could fight in many styles using different weapons and spells. The haunting music and dark sound design made every moment unforgettable, creating a world that was both beautiful and terrifying to explore. Even though it didn't win Game of the Year, Dark Souls 3 still earned huge respect elsewhere. It won Best RPG at the Golden Joystick Awards and sold millions of copies. Players online called it a genre-defining masterpiece and praised how it balanced difficulty and fairness. But despite its success, it was overshadowed by more popular and easy-to-play games like Overwatch, which appealed to a wider audience. The real reason it lost was simple. Dark Souls 3 wasn't made for everyone. It demanded patience, skill, and time. Many players found it too hard or too dark, while awards often favor games that are fun and easy to jump into. But those who truly played it knew it was more than just a game. It was an experience that shaped modern gaming. And that's why losing Game of the Year will always feel like a robbery. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, released in May 2016, told the thrilling final chapter of Nathan Drake's story with cinematic storytelling, stunning visuals, and polished gameplay. Critics loved it, giving it a 93 on Metacritic, but it lost Game of the Year to Overwatch, leaving fans shocked. From lush jungles to detailed cities, every scene felt alive, and Nolan North's voice acting brought deep emotion, making its loss feel like a true robbery. The game pushed the PlayStation 4 to its limits, showing breathtaking environments and smooth animations. Players could climb, sneak, and fight seamlessly while exploring wide, detailed levels. The music and orchestral score made each moment cinematic. Uncharted 4 won Best Narrative at the Game Awards, but missing the top prize felt unfair considering how technically and emotionally impressive the game was. Fans and awards elsewhere recognized its greatness. It won Best PlayStation Game and Best Visuals at the 2016 Golden Joystick Awards. Its multiplayer, though smaller, was tight and replayable. Social media erupted, calling it a cinematic masterpiece, overshadowed by Overwatch's competitive scene. Selling over 16 million copies by 2019, Uncharted 4 left a cultural mark, yet it was ignored in favor of flashier, multiplayer-focused titles. The real injustice came from the industry favoring trends over story. Overwatch's esports appeal likely swayed votes, while Uncharted 4's single-player brilliance, released in May, didn't get lasting attention. Despite its masterful execution, it was overlooked, missing the chance to honor one of the finest storytelling and technical achievements of the generation. Ghost of Tsushima, made by Sucker Punch, should have won Game of the Year in 2020, but lost to The Last of Us Part 2. Released in July, it gave players an open-world adventure through feudal Japan with beautiful landscapes, cinematic storytelling, and fluid combat. Its Kurosawa mode, voice acting, and music impressed fans and critics alike, yet the game was overlooked despite winning awards for art and player choice, making its loss feel unfair. The island of Tsushima was stunning, with windswept fields, bamboo forests, and changing weather that brought the world to life. Combat lets players choose stealth, duels, or open fights with different stances and tools, adding depth. The game's technical and artistic polish, paired with a respectful samurai story, created an experience many called breathtaking. Yet at the Game Awards, it didn't get the top prize, leaving fans feeling robbed. Fans and critics praised Ghost of Tsushima widely. It won Best Action Adventure at the Game Critics Awards and sold over 9.7 million copies by 2022. Posts online in 2020 called it a visual and emotional triumph, yet it was overshadowed by heavier, more dramatic stories. Its summer release and calmer tone may have reduced its awards buzz, but the game's quality and popularity were undeniable, showing it truly deserved recognition. The injustice came from the industry favoring dark, complex stories over balanced, elegant games. While The Last of Us Part 2 got attention for its heavy narrative, Ghost of Tsushima offered freedom, beauty, and cultural respect. Its PlayStation-only release may have limited exposure, but it blended art, gameplay, and story perfectly. Missing out on Game of the Year meant the awards overlooked a masterpiece that many fans and critics will remember as one of the best. Black Myth: Wukong, made by Game Science, is China's first major AAA console game, yet it lost Game of the Year at the Game Awards 2024 to Astrobot. Released in August 2024, it brought Chinese mythology to life with huge boss fights, smooth Souls-like combat, and stunning environments. Selling over 20 million copies and earning $1 billion, it wowed players and critics alike, but higher-rated Western games edged it out, making its exclusion feel like a true robbery. The game's visuals in Unreal Engine 5 were breathtaking with dynamic transformations, detailed levels, and epic particle effects. Combat was deep, using stamina, stance changes, and spells strategically. Its music, inspired by ancient lore, added immersion without heavy story exposition. Winning Best Action Game in Player's Voice and earning nominations for Art Direction and Game Direction. It dominated fans' hearts, yet Game of the Year slipped through its fingers. Globally, fans celebrated Black Myth Wukong, winning awards in Spain, Croatia, Turkey, Brazil, the Golden Joystick, and Steam Awards for Ultimate Game of the Year, Story-Rich Game, and Best Game You Suck At. On social media, fans called it a masterpiece, robbed by Western bias. Critic scores were lower due to PC issues and repetitive exploration, likely influencing jurors to favor more polished titles, despite the game's global love. The snub highlights an industry bias toward critics and perfection over cultural impact and sales. As the lowest-rated Game of the Year nominee in history, Black Myth Wukong faced extra scrutiny. Late-year timing, pre-launch controversies, and voters preferring lighter games like Astrobot meant its bold mythology and global achievements were undervalued, marking a missed chance to honor diverse excellence. Red Dead Redemption 2, made by Rockstar Games, came out in October 2018 and instantly wowed players with its huge living world. You could ride horses, explore forests, and watch NPCs live their lives, all while following Arthur Morgan's deep emotional story. Critics loved it, giving it a 97 on Metacritic, and fans called it a masterpiece. Yet it lost Game of the Year to God of War, leaving many feeling it was robbed of the top honor. The game's world felt alive like nothing before. The weather changed, animals roamed, towns bustled, and every character had routines. Gunfights, horseback rides, and survival gameplay made exploration thrilling. Arthur Morgan's story came alive thanks to Roger Clark's award-winning voice work paired with a haunting, memorable soundtrack. Though it won Best Narrative, Music, Audio, and Performance, missing the Game of the Year award felt wrong to fans and critics alike. Red Dead Redemption 2 also smashed sales records, selling over 17 million copies in just 2 weeks and 65 million by 2023. It won Best Action Adventure and Best Storytelling awards, but fans online called it a generational masterpiece unfairly overshadowed by God of War. Its late October release might have hurt its awards chances, but its global acclaim showed it deserved the top prize, making its loss feel like a true robbery. The heart of the injustice was the industry's love for shorter, punchy games over massive, patient epics. God of War's tight story and accessible gameplay won voters, while Red Dead's slow-burning, realistic tale demanded time and focus. Its huge scale, attention to detail, and deep narrative were unmatched, proving it set a new standard for open-world games. Losing Game of the Year was a missed chance to honor a landmark in gaming history. And that's it for today's video. These games may not have taken home the official Game of the Year title, but they definitely earned a place in our hearts. Each one pushed creativity, passion, and innovation far beyond what awards could ever measure. And tell me in the comments, which game do you think got robbed the most? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more gaming content, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.